Hello, Murderbot tubers, and welcome back to Let's Play Lobotomy Corporation with me, BlueAnkylo, and the extremely late night live tubers. There's probably not that many left. It's too late. Everyone's gone to bed. But I'm still up. I'm still recording. And so are a few people, brave tubers, watching us attempt the impossible. So, today, we're going to deal with our first HE, I believe, I'm almost 100% confident, abnormality. I don't think I know anything about this one, so it could be real exciting. It walks on its own, though. That's great. I've moved around a little bit, as usual. I did some research. I won't go over it all right now, but I looked up who has the best red defense, white defense, and black defense. So that depending on what damage the abnormality does, we at least have, in our head, knowledge on who the best chance of survival will be. We may have to do some restarts, depending on how bad it is. But you never know, maybe it'll be fine. Other than that, I recruited Turkey, another one from our patron list. Welcome to the team, Turkey, and try not to die. One thing I am going to start doing from this episode is I'm not going to recruit too many more people for a little while, and probably spend lobotomy points on upgrading stats a little bit more, at least to level 3s, because like last episode, we got stuck by the noon that we probably couldn't defeat, so we didn't really have a chance to grind up any bonus stats, and hiring a bunch of level 1 or 2 units is not going to be better than actually getting some people some real stats. So I would like to find a way to train Justice up, but it's very expensive, so we'll be prioritizing getting, you know, HP SP up to level 3 for everybody and that kind of stuff. And I know I have 2 spare points. I could spend it, but I'm going to save it for the moment. That'll be that. Alright, let's see what happens. Also, I have to promote people, so it'd be nice to stick around a while and get a couple people promoted. That way we could get some training upgrades. Alright, what do we get? It's... okay, so this was a thing with the keyhole where someone was watching us. Right? That's what the tip was. I'm almost positive I've never seen this thing. I have zero information. It definitely has an eye that's watching us, and apparently it can walk on its own. So my guess is we start with insight. 1 for 1, it has a little eye on the picture, and it's the looky one. That might be a terrible mistake, but robots are rarely, in my experience, instinctual or attachments. Attachment tends to imply some sort of emotional feelings of some sort. Instinct tends to be more physical, well, instinctual kind of behavior. So robots, I tend to start with insight or repression. And because there's the eye symbology, I figure that's fine. We did recruit one random somewhere, didn't I? Oh, I was going to. I forgot. I'd missed that. That's what I was going to spend my point on. Let's just forget about this. That never happened. Don't worry about that. I knew there was a reason I was saving a couple points, and then I totally forgot. Yeah, I wanted a tester. It's just some random dude. You know, it's Max. Every now and then, we're just going to hire a random employee, give them no armor, and send them into the machines. It's just the way to do things. It's cheaper. It's more efficient. You could just reload every time, but let's see how this works. I'm sure he'll die, but we'll learn something. Good luck, Max. Welcome to Lobotomy Corporation. We've got a peeping Tom machine here. Alright. The warning of, do not look at it, maybe insight was not the correct decision, made lots of employees curious and has led to many terrible incidents. Looking. Do not look at it. Nothing would have warned me about that. Except that. 8, so it does red damage, and a heck of a lot of red damage. He took 8 damage. He has neutral red, but he's 2 armor tiers below, so it's probably buffed up by like 30 or 40%. I bet you it deals like 4 or 5 red normally, or 6 red normally, maybe. Probably around 4 or 5. That was only a 4 or something. Yeah, he's totally dead. I'd like to see the next X though, please. Nope. Well, at least I know that it deals red damage and that maybe we shouldn't look at it. So, red damage. Who's got the best red armor? That was the beak armor, right? So, I think... Also, someone with good... So, as much as Jarrell has the red armor, he only has 50 HP. It actually might be smarter to send someone with only 80%. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to do it. I have 74 HP, which is considerably more, and it's only 10% more damage per hit. So... Oh, wait. No. Rides is right here. Rides is the best choice. Congratulations, Rides. 70% and 78 HP. You've got more than I do. Alright, you're gonna go repress it. Good luck! Give me information. Okay, they warned us not to look at it. We're not off to a great start on... So we're probably dead. It looks like repression might not be the right choice either. Or it's possible. This is great. It's possible that after you look at it, the next time you go in, you get immediately. It might not be that repression is bad. It might just be that as soon as you have looked at it, it gets mad. So, is everyone together? Alright, team. Seriously, your odds of survival here are not good, but let's just, repress it. You know. Easy. Suppress! Suppression! Not taking too much damage. Now, it probably has some special attacks. For now, it's just poking us. I haven't seen the buzzsaws come out yet. There they are. Look at all the damage! Yeah, HP's dropping quick. Oh, look at it go! So, yeah, we're all dead. One special attack. Oh, no! Technically... Run! Flee! Okay, we're good. We got this. Don't worry. We can survive one razor blade attack if we're at full health, Rides. Go to the safe room. Yeah, I mean that's not gonna make it better. We didn't even really get close to killing it. So, you know, it's pretty much a guaranteed reset. I don't think there's any way to finish the day like this. My idea here is to heal up and then see if I can do some insane micro to kill it, but there's just no way to gain enough energy while it's loose like that. I mean, you have to do a lot of bouncing around trying to dodge it. You could, like, try to release something else to fight it, but that doesn't work very well usually. Alright, I'm almost healed up. One more tick. Alright. Just 2 men. Here we go. We've dealt maybe a third of its life. Keep on going, guys. Here goes nothing. It is weak to red damage, so that's something. Right, you can't just control, you have to move. So it looks like Rides can stay out of range and just shoot it. You go that way, you go that way. We weren't really quick enough. I'm taking a lot of damage. It's possible Rides could kill this eventually on his own very slowly with damage. Just bullets. You'd have to dodge every buzzsaw and just tick away at it like that. This is not a productive method. It's just interesting that it would be possible. Technically possible. Not gonna happen right now. So, yeah. Every tier gets more dangerous, but particularly, yeah, having low tier armor going in against something stronger than you is generally bad. So, unfortunately, we didn't get any boxes to learn anything. So, I feel like Insight is the wrong thing to do. So, I'm gonna test out Repression one more time. If it just immediately escapes, we'll just reset. But I'm gonna go in there, and I'm mostly testing if it was the fact that we looked at it first and then we repressed, or just if we start with Repression, maybe it's okay. It's just a theory. Don't look at it. Boy, taking a lot of red damage, that's for sure. Okay, so Repression just lets it out. That's clearly the wrong way to do it. You know, maybe Insight is the right way to do it. I don't know. I thought Insight would be the wrong, just based on the little tip we got. Sometimes you get an abnormality that's just like this, and it just kills you and kills you and kills you until you figure it out. Sometimes you gotta do science, and it just requires restarting, because once it's out, there's no stopping it. You can't even keep testing once it's out. So let's take someone with reasonable stats and look at it. Because last time we sent Max to his doom, didn't work. It doesn't look good though. I mean, and yeah, okay. There is another option. It might escape after a certain number of red boxes. There is something else it could be that I have seen once before. It would be kind of annoying if that's what this is. I have an idea, but the only reason I even have it is from spoilers playing other monsters further down the road. And this kind of would be a real harsh lesson if this is actually what it is. So, I'll try each action once, and if nothing works, I'm pretty sure I know what we have to do. Without spoiling it, read this line very closely and try to think outside the box. If I'm right. Same thing exactly. Yeah, okay, I think I know what it is. I think I know. But I will try Instinct next, because that was Temperance, right? So we'll try one with Instinct. This is a pretty bad starter monster, if this is the mechanic that it is. Because there's no way you would guess this first time around. There's no way. Because so far we have zero way to get even a single box. So how could you learn anything about it? It just breaks out as soon as you go in there. Well, 5 boxes in, sure, yes. As Thorinum has posted in chat, he gets 0 to 5, breaks out every single time. That means you just get one text above it. There's no extra explanation. And there's just nothing to it. But I think I know what it is. And this is kind of dumb. Stupid box. So, I actually have no idea what the correct choice is. I have no idea. I don't think it matters right now what we pick. I'm going to send myself in. I'm going to send myself in there again. But I'm going to do one thing differently. And this is going to be really hard for the Let's Play. I'm going to go in there. And here, I'm in there. And I'm not going to look at it. Just let me know if it kills you. Just scream loudly. I don't hear any alarms, guys. Should have set off an alarm by now, right? I haven't come back either. Maybe I got eaten. Maybe it didn't work. Am I right or not here? I don't... Oh, look! Look who it is! I took some damage, so, you know, worrying about armor was not inconsequential. I still only got an 8. Or whatever that is. This is the most energy of anything we've seen, a 9, technically. Mixing the numbers up. Yeah, that's it. I don't know how you'd ever figure that out. The only reason I knew about this, or could even guess it, because I saw something similar, not the same mechanic, but something similar, where it was regarding what you looked at for something else, a different type of monster. That is dirty. That is a dirty trick. Work on... Yeah, so if you can get 6 points... If you can get 6 points somehow, then it tells you. But how do you get those 6 points? Normally, right? Because you're trying to figure it out. Everything you send out, they just die, die, die. How often do you send somebody and then ignore the first time you go in to see a monster? That is rough. That's definitely one of the biggest noob traps, I think. Because there's just... I don't know how you'd ever figure that out other than just totally lucky fluke. Probably you just have to go look it up on a guide somewhere. So you can only do the work when the surveillance camera is out of sight. That's great. That's great. And it still dealt a lot of damage. It still definitely dealt a lot of damage. I wish I knew what worked. I think now that I know the mechanic, it won't be too bad. I have some things to test. There's definitely more testing needed. I still think Insight will be the wrong choice for the employee. I'll try Attachment. I'll send myself, because clearly I survived once, so maybe I can do it twice. What I'm going to try to do, now that we know, I'm going to test another thing here. So I'm testing a different color. I'm going to try to not look at it, but I want to read the text. Maybe the text will help us. Hopefully this doesn't count as looking at it, right? When you feel a gaze upon you, even when you're alone, it's already too late. I don't know when it's done, is half the problem here. Or if I'm already dead. It would tell you if you died. Do we really not get much dialogue? Oh, it must be done. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Oh, hey, that was a good! So it looks like maybe Attachment's a bit better than Repression. I have got enough points we can get success rate up if I finish those. You know, that's kind of funny. 5 seconds, that's the same number of boxes it took for it to break out. It immediately stops moving when it went out of the camera's sight. Oh! So that might... The camera would probably apply when it's out of the box. So, like, if it does escape and you're fighting it, if I send everybody in there and then don't look at them, does it just freeze up? So we could have suppressed it by not looking at it, maybe, when it first escaped, if I'd known. I wonder if I should test that out. Immediately stopped moving when it went out of the camera's sight. If it doesn't attack, we could totally win. Should I try that? We'll try it. For science, right? If we die, it's still early in the day. It's not a big deal. I'd rather test it now than once we're way late in the game. I mean, if the team gets chainsawed off if the team gets chainsawed off screen, then at least we know, right? So I'm just gonna send Max in there and look at it, because Max is not gonna help us fight much. So it doesn't really matter. The warning: do not look at Schadenfreude. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow, that was even quicker for him. I guess he just died or something. Oh, right. He didn't actually trigger it. That was part of the complication. He kept dying before he could trigger it. Right. Alright. So it has to be someone with more HP. That was not even 5 ticks there. Alright. We're gonna... Everybody in this hallway will immediately start suppressing it, because it'll be in the same room as them. Can I click on it? Yes. I wonder if this counts. This is more science. We're gonna not watch, but we're gonna keep an eye on it this way. Nobody's dying yet. No one's suppressing it either. I mean, I don't even know if this is working yet. Clearly, we're not taking damage. A little bit of sanity damage. Well, that sanity damage got healed somehow. Maybe it didn't get out of its containment room yet? Oh no, everyone just went in there. It's working! I paused the game. Okay. Also, science lesson number 2. Hopefully, looking at it while paused is safe. I don't know. I didn't know you could go in the rooms to suppress things. You guys get in there. Go suppress it. Maybe you can only suppress it in your own department. This is all... I don't know, actually. Oh. I forgot to send in... Now that I've got 3 teams, I forgot to send them in. Alright. This is interesting. This is definitely interesting. It looks like you might lose sanity when you see it or something like that. Like when you enter the room with it, because it's a dangerous monster kind of thing. Sanity is healing, though, for some reason. I don't know why your sanity is going up. Oh, also, we're done, right? Okay! It works! So if it escapes, just don't look at it. It didn't seem to attack at all, actually. So, frustrating to learn, but it should be actually quite easy to handle. You just don't look at it. I will have to learn the correct work to use on it. So we'll just send myself in there and just, for now, just look somewhere else. I get the feeling if you pause it and check, it's okay. As long as you don't unpause it while you're looking at it. I don't know for sure, but I get the feeling that that's probably how it works. So you could still check if you're really curious. You can see, oh look, I'm doing pretty well. And then unpause over here. I think. I mean, you know, I'd be dead if it wasn't working or something, I assume. It's kind of annoying knowing when the work is done. So you either have to watch, like, the hallway to see when I guess you could just watch the hallway and see when you come out. That's fine. It's not like you have to go far, far away. Also, that was a pretty good result there for attachment. I've got just enough points to learn its name. Or I could get 3 work styles, but I think it's better to get the bonuses going here. So Schadenfreude. Schadenfreude. I don't really speak German, so don't laugh at me for my terrible pronunciation. That, like, enjoyment of other people's suffering or something like that, if I remember correctly. I did actually take German in high school, but that was so long ago, I don't remember. Definitely red damage. You know, I was guessing like 4 or 5 red damage. That's probably pretty accurate there. That was good. Okay. If that's the only mechanic for it, this is actually, like, other than the learning curve, if all you need to do is send someone with red resistance and not to look at the camera on it, this won't be the worst thing to train people up on, depending on what it's weak against. Because we'll be getting better stat gains from this guy and energy gains. And it shouldn't have any weird, you know, like the tree summoning people in, or it shouldn't break out at all, actually. It's got a clip-off counter, but I think it's just based on looking at it, so interesting. For now, I'm going to stick with attachment and just sort of grind that up until I have the info. And then we'll start speeding through the days a little bit more aggressively. Also, it was kind of nice just to show off kind of how some of the more advanced fighting mechanics work. Clearly, we don't really have the abilities yet to deal with strong monsters, but there is a certain amount of... well, that was not a good result. There's a certain amount of... so attachment's not that great. What am I trying to say? There's a certain amount of micro you can do where enemies have special attacks, and if you can read them, you can move guys out of the way, left or right. But not in the same room. Like when you're controlling someone, you can't move them in the room. You can just move them to the room. So to move them left, you have to click a room to the left or to the right kind of thing. And then stop in the middle kind of thing. It's just a little bit micro-y, but... Let's try repression. I would be actually much happier if repression is the right option. because I don't have anywhere to train repression, and an HE tier repression trainer would be perfect right now. Alright, so the thing over here is mad. Send Jelka to deal with it, no big deal. Oh, we got a purple Dawn. We actually haven't seen a purple Dawn yet. We've seen amber, crimson, and green. So this is the fourth. I think it's the final color, actually. Alright, it came out. Oh, that was much better. Are we gonna... Hot diggity. Yeah, instinct is harassed. You know, robot's instincts, I figured. Insight, I still don't know if I would trust it. Attachment seems to get worse the higher your level is. But repression looks to be the way to go. Neat. And we got some level 3 armor. And this is nice. We get 3 sets of it, so I can get a full team of... Like, it doesn't actually have great stats, so... You know, you might look at this and go, psh, you've got better armor than that. The pale damage doesn't really matter much because you don't fight much with pale. But remember, because it's a higher tier, even the same 1-to-1, it's better than... It's probably at least as good as a 0.8 Teth tier. And then this is like a 0.6 Teth or something around those kind of lines, if you add 20% or so. So, that definitely adds up. Alright. Did we fluke out and get the repression here? That's not that bad once you know the trick. We may have. Just a little bit annoying with not being able to look at it. So like, don't do that. We have to like... You know, in a way, we're kind of lucky where it is. Because I can see every other abnormality in my base without looking at it. If it was right in the middle, that'd be way more of a pain. Imagine if it was right here, or right here, like one of the middle ones. It'd be way harder to move the camera around it. You'd have to pause it just to go through your base. Well, yeah, Max, you know, it doesn't matter. Max is disposable. Actually, I think this worked out pretty well. Send myself in again. But yeah, because it's kind of in the corner of the base... We'll be able to see everything else and mostly ignore that we can't look at it. You just have to be a little bit careful, and that'll be cool. Hello, Hades. You've come right at the end of kind of a late night stream for me, but thanks for stopping by and saying hello. You enjoy the JRPGs, the old school ones? Yeah, those are pretty popular. I understand. Alright, we survived again. Didn't take too much damage. Didn't do amazing, but now we've got the full observation. It actually doesn't tell you its weaknesses here. That's kind of odd. Must be sort of a gimmick with... You can't really see what it is until it escapes. So you don't really know what it's weak against. Oh, cool. We can get its chainsaw arms. Its buzzsaw arms. I bet you it does low damage, but it like ticks the same as it does. Where it goes... It'll do like 2 multiple times all in a row. Thanks, Hades. Glad you enjoyed, and it's always nice to see someone stopping by to say hi. Alright, I like it. That's good. So now we've got full information. Looks like all of our results are common right now, probably because we're at low ranks. We need to get our repression higher, and it will be more likely to work. So, I've done it a few times. It's quite likely that my justice will go to level 3. I'm pretty sure Rides will survive, because he's got pretty good armor for this as well, and decent HP. So Blue and Rides can farm it for a little bit. We'll continue that while we learn more about it. I should start practicing with some of the other employees. Oh yeah, the bird got loose. Fella, I need you. We'll let someone else deal with it, because it's closer, but... Fella is our bird handler, obviously. But for now, it's gonna pick on Thorinum a little bit. And Turkey. Just one smack, 2 smacks to Turkey. And then it goes home. So, this actually isn't a bad place for punishing bird, because it's only got one way to go. And as long as there's somebody here, I think it'll just move out, smack them, and then go home. And that makes it much quicker, so you don't have to waste a lot of time. If you had it in a different place, like say here, it could come out, go this way, wander around before it ever sees anybody, kind of thing. So, it's kind of in a nice little corner of the base, because you can't go through there, that's not connected. For whatever reason. Alright, Ride survived. I forgot to check. I wanted to see how much damage he took. Let's see how much damage old Rides takes from riding the eyeball machine. Yeah, I think for all the things we could have got at He class, this is not bad. It was rough to start, make no mistake. But once we got the idea, not so bad. I mean, look at this. He didn't even take that much damage, right? Like, that's fine. You actually get a good result with not even that many. Like, 11 out of 18 is not that incredible, so... bad. We can get 2 more jobs in before the Purple Dawn. So I'll probably just send Rides in twice, do the Purple Dawn, and then we'll start spreading the work out to other people, so it's shared XP a little bit better. But hopefully this will get some basic armor and a couple people some Justice stats. Yeah, this is a much better Justice farm than Beauty and the Beast. Now, Beauty and the Beast might be a better Justice farm for low-level employees. You still need a fair amount of HP to survive this thing. But other than a very low-level trainer, this will be much better into the mid to late game. And I think I can afford to pay to get people to level 2 or 3 Fortitude. And once we've got better armor, and especially red resistant armor, they'll be fine. So we might just skip Beauty and the Beast completely. Alright, so the next move releases the Purple Dawn. We haven't seen this one yet. It's... let's say it's kind of like the Clowns in a sense. Like the Crimson Dawn. It fights you a little bit harder than they do, but it's not going to be much more dangerous. And I feel like, as much as the weapon looks good, getting more of this armor is probably priority. Because it's a new class, the more people we can get in armor, the better. Alright, so let's trigger the Dawn. I'm not going to do any special setup for it. This one's one of the ones I'm not very scared of. But you'll see, you'll see. Let's send Thornum in there, getting towards Repression up. Or, sorry, Temperance up. Alright, the Fruit of Understanding. So, it looks kind of like the worms, but there's only one at a time. And it does black damage, which is a little bit dangerous. You know, you can see Teth class and all that. But if I remember correctly, they don't really attack that much. And the only problem is if you ignore them, which is generally not the way you want to play. So we'll send our dudes in. I think each squad should be more than enough at this point. Heck, even the random janitors aren't even doing that bad. I'm not actually sure if it fights back much. You can kind of see it parks out beside a unit. Yeah, that one's good and dead. Those 3, no problem. That's our A team. They cleared it up real quick. The B team down here, they'll be fine, I'm sure. They're not even taking any damage. I'm not even sure if these things can attack you, to be honest. That guy's dead. I mean, it says they do black damage, but... oh yeah, Pixel took a little bit. So it must attack sometimes. Alright, Pixel, get out of there. You're actually getting hurt. Oh, maybe it's that little pink aura. I betcha if you're using a very short-range weapon, you take damage. But if you're using like a longer, medium, or long range, you don't even get hit by it. It's just like a little aura of damage. And Pixel is pretty low levels, so no surprise there. Actually, was he weak to black even, maybe? Because lots of people are weak to black. Yeah, he's taking 50% extra damage from black. And he's using a... I think it's a short-range horn, or maybe normal range, I don't know. So yeah, anyway, not too bad. And that's that. The gimmick with the Purple Dawn, or the Purple Dawn... oh good, Purple Noon is up next. That's much worse. This is the other noob killer, actually. I should show it off, because it's hilarious. The Purple Dawn, if you ignore it for too long, I think it lowers the clip-off counter of everything in that department, or something like that. The Crimson Dawn, they travel and steal energy, and then it lower the clip-off of the one beside them. The Purple, I believe, it just, you have to ignore them for a while, and eventually they sort of psionically damage everybody. Now, I was hoping not to immediately go to another noon ordeal, so we'd have a little bit more time. It doesn't look like that's going to happen, though. So, I know I've sent Blue and Rides in a few times. Fella, I'm pretty sure can survive as well. So I'd like to send him in a few times. And while that's going on, let's at least get some baby repression. I'd like to get, say, to level 2. Also remember, I can't look at that one room. We can keep an eye on Beauty. I have a lot. I mean, we could go a lot quicker by sending people into all the rooms at the same time, but we're kind of limited on our total actions, so I want to just focus on Justice a little bit right now. And also, we still need more weapons from these two anyway, so getting these two specifically worked on is a little bit better. I don't know if I need that armor so much, but... So we go... Anybody that needs... Yeah, we'll just have the baby team work on Beauty. I think you'll be okay. She doesn't do too much damage. And it does look like Fella survived without taking that much damage there, so no problem. Should we try the Purple Noon? The Violet Noon? So, again, I sort of have some advanced information. The first time you do this, if you're playing blind, I can basically guarantee you have a base wipe the first time you do a Purple Noon. Almost for sure, the first one of these you do, you lose everybody. Or at least the vast majority of your guys are dead. It's not that hard if you know what you're doing, but if you don't, well, it's one trick that's really hard to handle. So it looks like we get probably one more suppression on Beauty, and that gives some of the C team, I guess we can call them, for Control Team, the C team, that gives them at least a chance to raise their Justice a little bit. Move speed is nice, no doubt about it. Alright, so, it's very important, if we are going to try Purple Noon, that no one is in the regenerator when you trigger it. I'm sorry that you don't get to see it happen live on camera, but it's definitely not ideal. I'm sure lots of people expecting blind playthroughs are mad, but that's not how we roll. Because they are considered heh, I'm going to try to do it as a team effort. It's definitely more efficient if each team... Because again, you're going to get one monster per department. It's better if each department can kill their own. I'm not sure if we will be that strong at this point, so we're going to try everybody against one. And then if that works, we'll try to go to the others. If the dog breaks free, we're out. Because I don't think we can suppress the dog. Bird breaks out, it's fine. Tentacles break out, it's fine. If this thing starts summoning people, we're in trouble. I would actually be fine if this thing breaks free, although it's a bit annoying. We actually could handle that. I'm not sure if we can kill Pode yet. He seems to be really strong when he breaks out. But pretty much everything else we can probably suppress if we have to. Alright. I guess I do need someone to start this up. We're going to be starting on this side, so we'll send... Well, someone who's not going to contribute much to the fight. I guess Turkey is the weakest. He is very weak to white damage. She deals white damage. So we're instead going to send Thorinum in there to do the work. Just to make sure it's someone who doesn't die. Alright. Great love for us, Nuna Violet. Look at this giant thing. That showed up quick. So it's not always the regenerator. Larger rooms are also at risk. The first time I did it was about this phase of the game, and one was in each of my regenerators. I did not get one in this room the first time I played. So what do? Well, pity Epsilon 23, for he is dead, and so is everyone else in the room. I don't think it matters where it lands. I think, basically, if you're in the room when it lands, you're just dead. Like, 100% you're dead. So, now you know. Basically, if you see Purple Noon, you have to get out of the big rooms. Elevators, always fine. Regenerators, this kind of thing, not fine. It's a noob trap. Once you know about it, though, it's not generally too hard to repress them. They are hack class, but there's no way they deal as much damage as those robots do. So we'll see if we can take it out as a team here. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's reasonably likely. its main gimmick is squishing. You can see it's not... He's dealing some sanity damage here. But we're actually killing it fairly quickly. So yeah, that's fine. So that was no big deal. The only trouble is, just like Purple Dawn, if we don't kill them in a certain amount of time, they will cause problems for the surrounding abnormalities. Now, because we can definitely suppress that, this will not escape, and neither will this. I think the next target will be this one, because Pade escaping is probably the most dangerous at the moment. Is there anybody that needs a bit of healing? Let's wait at least one tick, and then we'll go. Stay here, please. A little bit slow, but we'll get a little bit of sanity back. We might not be 100%, but I think we can handle one more like that. See, now it's doing its little aura thing. Kind of looking for clip-off counters to go down. I'm not sure if it's just one randomly. Yeah, it looks like the Grave of Cherry Blossoms went down. Those two can't go down. So it might not be... It might just be like one random room loses a clip-off counter. Which is okay for stuff like Punishing Bird, but definitely not okay for Pode. So let's see if we can kill this thing before Pode escapes. I believe it's only in the department it's in as well, not like facility-wide. So this is probably, all things considered, the easiest Noon to handle once you know not to be in a large room. Once you're past that point, it's actually pretty easy to fight, as you guys can see. So now we've got one left. It's possible it'll clip off one of those. I haven't noticed any other zones counters going down other than maybe Punishing Bird. Although Punishing Bird goes down all the time anyway. It's doing its little thing again. It's also possible that it might randomly pick a room that can't go down, which is kind of funny. I'm still waiting to see if it can affect a different department, and I haven't seen that yet either. It's also possible that by attacking it during its animation, it stops it. And even a janitor can do that, maybe. Maybe. Anyway, it looks like our current tier of equipment is more than enough. I'm still not sure if sending 3 to each at the same time would be effective, but certainly everyone all together is fine. And yeah, we're going to spend a little bit of time grinding just because this is one of the few times where it will be safe to go multiple levels of clip-off meltdown. I'm not going to spend like an hour here, but I wouldn't mind getting some of the basics, a little bit past some of the basic stats. So I'm going to send one more time. This is the last time for Fella once he gets healed up a little bit. And then I'm going to consider the training team trained. Obviously, there's more stats to gain, but we should have, hopefully, all of them get to level 3 Justice. And that will be like level 3, level 3, level 4, level 4. That'll be pretty strong. Oh, don't look at him. Stop, stop, stop. That's an easy one to forget. Holy smokes. The good news is if he does break out, we know how to handle him. So even if you mess up and he gets out, as long as you just pause, you're probably okay. Now that you know what to do. So once that's done, then we're going to switch over to sort of who gets what stats. And we're already done. Okay. So, I mean, optimally, I'd like to get another 35 points here to get his weapon. And also 20 more points to get the last weapon from Beauty. Then we've got all the weapons done. Other than that, it's mostly stats. So who can work? So we've got training team trained. These guys are all level 1 Justice. So let's say... I don't know how long I want to spend. It'd be nice to get each of them 2 trips, let's say. Assuming they've got enough armor to survive. And that's a bit of a question. I could send them to the Must Be Happy first. Let's, just for science here, let's send in Jirao, who's got relatively low, like he's still new stats, only 50 HP, but he's got the 0.7 armor. I want to see how much damage he takes and kind of gauge from there. If he's close to death, maybe I'll buff up some HP for the other guys. Maybe. I don't know. What else could we work on? The newbies obviously have a lot of stats to work on. I think Bird is fairly safe. And Spider's pretty safe, as long as you pick the right choice. So Insight, I think this is probably the safest Insight and the safest Instinct. Because if you fail on Pode for Instinct, you have bad time. If you fail on Spider-Bud, no big deal. Fragment of the Universe is probably our best attachment trainer. So that's good. Black Damage, we got attachment. And we'll just try to ignore the tree because its cycle is kind of annoying and Pade breaks out a lot. Now, we didn't do amazing there. Who did I send in? Was that Pixel did I send? I forget. No, it's... Better not be dead. Yeah, I must have sent in Pixel, or... No. No, it was Giral. Right. It was from the information team. So, I wasn't paying enough attention, because you never know when he left. I mean, he's been in here, he'd probably been healed once, so it's probably not an accurate description of his, success. I wanted to send these middle team in twice each, so... Let him heal up, I'm going to try him a second time. I have a feeling he took a fair bit of damage because of the red armor. So, it might not be safe for other employees with Teth tier armor and even lower HP to go in, plus they're like extra damage from red. I don't think that's going to work for Jelka here. We're going to get a meltdown pretty quick here. Try Giral one more time. He did survive once. Yeah, let's just watch him. We can see his HP from here while he works. And then we'll trigger something for the meltdown and we'll figure out where we're going to go from there. Because maybe we won't be able to train these guys up without different armor. So that would be unfortunate, but... So he's taken 6 damage, 3 damage... It looks like he's taking probably 3 damage per hit. And he is done. So he took about half damage. That was about 24. And that was with average results. So more damage, the more black ticks. We need a couple more works to get the weapon. I bet you Grotham can survive. He's actually got a fair bit more total HP. He'll probably take, say, 4 damage per hit instead of 3 damage per hit. You know, if I get you killed, Grotham, it's my bad, but I think you'll be okay. Also, that'll set off the countdown, that's fine. And then, if I want to train up Jelka, I'll probably wait till we've got different armor equipped, because they'll... Well, yeah, probably should. Or send them into the Must Be Happy first. Alright, as soon as Grotham goes in there, we got our countdown, or meltdown. So this is good training. The meltdowns are actually quite nice, because when you're working one of the meltdown options, they don't count as a tick, right? So you can do these sort of for free, in a sense. Alright, Lobies, we're definitely not worrying about sending into that right now. That would be a terrible idea. We'll reset this because it's easy, and I'll ignore that for the moment. How is our dude doing? Grotham. Did he only take 18 damage? Oh, he's not done yet. He just had a good stretch there. There he goes. And then get out of there instantly. Don't pick. Looks like he's taking 4 or 5 damage per hit. And he's mostly done. So the result is survivable for Grotham. He took at least half of his HP out, but survivable one way or the other. So we can do Grotham a couple times. We need one more work to get the weapon. We've now repressed Beauty a little bit. We can get... Oh, we need one more work for that. Okay, so one more work on those two will get us the last weapons we're missing. Okay, so we're going to go... So we did We did Jirao twice. We're doing Grotham twice once he heals up. And then Jelka, I think especially if I buff him up in the little machine there, he'll be okay. So we'll do that. And then we'll keep working on Beauty. Getting the training team trained up a bit. We have enough points to go through all of this. A lot of people with 2s, just trying to get their 2s up to 3s. Probably safe working on these kind of guys when you're at level 2. Once they're, yeah, not even work. Got more monsters than people. Sometimes I wish we had a triple speed or something. Alright, we have enough energy again. I think we lost a little bit of energy at the meltdown. Yeah, Grotham's definitely taken some hits. It's 2 works. Yeah, I'm not going to grind this forever. I'm just going to do, like I said, 2 for everybody. And then that's as far as the middle team's going to go. But then next step is to get Jelka a little bit more stats so that he can survive, theoretically. This should give him better success rate and everything too, so. Oops. Alright, sometimes I get a little bit too ambitious. Classic Blue. The gambling machine. Alright, that should be good. So, plus 25, that gives him like 100 HP. Like, come on, that's gotta be enough. Also, yeah, see, now that his justice stat is higher, and also his temperance stat, he actually has better, like, chances are he will actually take less damage in terms of number of attacks. So, this is something I probably should have done, and I sort of forgot, sort of didn't want to abuse it. But, like, when we were testing it out, we could have started with Blue going to get plus 20, 30 stats, and then sending him in there, and it would actually be a lot safer. So that's, you know, that's good. Alright, we're going to get another meltdown here pretty quick. That's 1, 2. I think the next action will cause a meltdown after these 2 get there. We can pretty much handle whatever melts down, though. It's no big deal. We don't have so many difficult things that we can't handle that we need to worry about that so much. Alright, Pode, someone in the information team is going to handle you. Safe room, someone from the training team can go tick off. The ones we're already in, we will just have to wait till they're done and then we'll go back. We can ignore that. Okay. So, as much as I thought it would, we still did not get a great result from Schadenfreude. But, you know, it was worth a shot. Looks like Beauty is injured, so it's insight time. Stick with the control team. The actual team that needs training is the control team. The training team is already trained up. It's kind of funny, right? Pixel. And then once they're healed up, Jelka, if he ever goes home, unless he died terribly. He didn't die, did he? Yeah, Jelka, I didn't actually pay close attention. If he's not back yet, I think you can suffice to say he took... Oh no, he went up here. That's right, he didn't heal up. So yeah, he took exactly 50 damage, I think, while he was in there, even with his boosted stats. So before we buffed him up, he would have had, what, 70 or so HP, I think? So he might have survived, but it's hard to say. He might have done poorer if I hadn't buffed his stats, and then he would have taken a couple extra hits, and that would have been the end of it. So, not bad, not bad. This will probably be the last Schadenfreude work for the day. We'll send Jelka in and send everyone else for one more trip, and then we'll call that a good episode. Again, I'm not trying to grind overly. It's just... All right, it looks like it's 3, but it's not really 3. That's because of the... Ugh. Threw me off. Yeah, like, I'm not trying to grind forever. I know this is probably not the most interesting thing to do in the world, but it's kind of mandatory to do this once in a while. Then Pixelin, I think we've been kind of working our way down the list and up. And then Thornum there. Turkey there, yeah. Just trying to keep the newbie control team training a little bit. Is there anybody that wants to work on this guy over here? I'll walk over. I'm only at level 3. Yeah, I agree. Like, this is basically why I'm doing it, is if you don't do a little bit of grinding now and then, you can definitely get abnormalities that you can't really handle. I mean, you can still get that, even with all the grinding in the world. If you pick the wrong one and you just can't handle it, oof. What a terrible result, self. Again, this is sort of just a story. We'll probably never even see it. The very first WA tier I saw, my very first game, which I got at about this point. I think it was when I filled this slot up, like the next one we're about to get. I believe I got what is commonly known as Magical Girl. I won't spoil her actual name. And Magical Girl's great. You can work with her. She heals you. It's totally cool. She's real easy. It doesn't kill you instantly like this thing. And you can have a great old time. But there's a certain thing related to this counter where she just breaks out. And you get one chance to stop her, and you need a good result or something to stop her. And it's very, very hard to get a good result. And if you don't, which I could not get reliably, I don't even think if I had the right stats, I was just like, nope, you can't get a good result. So she escapes. She is unsuppressible. Like, you remember how the robot killed us all? It took him a while to kill us all, and technically we could, like, kite him out and stuff. And now that we know, we could just not look at him. Oh, no, there was no option like that for the Magical Girl I had. It was, you try to suppress her, you are dead. If you had high enough armor, I'm sure you can do it. Like, if you're playing with WA or Aleph armor, yeah, fine. But I'm sure, 5 in all your stats, we could buff up in the machine. The Teth armor, there's no chance. We'd just be dead. So if you get her, you have to work around her. And eventually, I got tired of working around her, and that was my first reset. That's the story. If you can get enough energy before she escapes, sure, you can go the next day. But then you're spending less time grinding, getting experience. Holy smokes, who was in here last? That's just the best result I've ever seen on Schadenfreude. That was Jelka. Jelka, my man. 16, that's some good stuff. Anyway, so point is, I feel like sometimes the stats don't even matter. If you get a bad abnormality, you're done. But with a little bit of foreknowledge, you can avoid that. And if you do a little bit of prep work, generally, I think you can survive almost anything that can show up. Like, this guy looked crazy, but once we learned how to handle it, yeah, it's no big deal. Anyway, that's it for today. We got an A because we let someone die, no big deal. Let's just have a quick look at the stats. So what I was hoping for is Justice ups. And yes, BlueAnkylo got Justice up. We got a lot more stats. Bella got his Justice up. Jelka, I mean, it looks like your stats went down, but they didn't really. That's some Justice, that's some Temperance. Not a lot, I only did like 2 trips, so. But you can kind of see there. 2 trips got us 12 of each stat. So that's like maybe 6 per trip at our current level. That's a pretty good deal. I think Blue and Fella did maybe 3 trips or so. We're a higher level, we probably got less per trip. But, you know, still 5 or 6 per trip is pretty good deal. So we're finally starting to get our Justice up a little bit, which is nice. We'll be able to continue farming that now in the future. Some of the Lobies got some stats. That's nice to see. Unfortunately, this is actually quite unfortunate. I should have grinded a little bit longer. We had a quest to get 2 promotions. I actually only got 1, and I'm surprised. So I should have trained the newbies a little bit longer to get that 2nd promotion, because that would have finished the quest, and the quest would have got me another an upgrade for our training team, which would have been nice, and I kind of messed that up. Oh well, I'm not going to restart for something like that. I just gotta, if we can, next day we really should try to get two promotions. But here we go. Now you become the sky, and I become the land. Do not recognize at all. I have no idea. When the day a ripe apple fell off the tree in the garden where the princess and the king stood, the witch's heart was shattered. I think I know that one. That relates to the Snow White tale, I believe, right? Apples and princesses and stuff. That's probably Snow White, and if that's the Snow White enemy, then I know what it is. Ices are... Oh, we're gonna pick this one. Yeah, we're totally picking this one. This one's fun. And also really good for training, if I remember correctly. Anything... I just remember the ice. I've only seen one ice abnormality, and I'm pretty sure this is the ice abnormality that I've seen before. So, if I was brave, I would take the one that I don't recognize at all, but it could be something terrible. It's hard to say. This one, if I remember correctly, is a Wa tier, I think, which would make it really good for training. But it also escapes easily, and we'd have no way to suppress it. If I'm not 100%, but if this is the one I'm thinking, it would be a new tier of difficulty that we're really not ready for, and every time it escaped, we'd have to restart. It would be a lot like my Magical Girl story, to be honest. I'm pretty sure. And you could ignore it for a while. In fact, it wouldn't be as bad as Magical Girl. You could mostly ignore it. But we couldn't really work on it safely for a while. At least I don't think so. Someone might be saying, Blue, in the future tubers, is like, Blue, this is fine, you can handle it. But I don't think we could, actually. And I have no idea about that one. So we're going to go with the ice. And if this is the one I'm remembering, this is actually a totally friendly one. Like, totally cool. And it'll be quite nice. Nice ice for sale. Or I'm wrong and it'll kill us. Either way, it'll be fun. I will tell you the first truth. Don't trust AIs. AIs are a lot smarter than people. It can imitate human emotions. But there are things you don't know. For example, some AIs can lie, withholding certain information to be exact. If the controller ordered the AI not to share certain information, it is not obligated to tell the truth to other than the controller. Some advanced AIs may exploit such an order to tell lies. I programmed AIs before. It's part of a project. So I know that the AIs don't necessarily tell the truth. In case you question my words, I will send you a system which I developed myself. This key will lengthen the nose. This is a bad translation, but it's referring to Pinocchio's nose lengthening when lying, right? This is not how you should translate it, but I get it. Red means lies. It's test code, so it can only be used once. That doesn't make any sense. You can just copy code. Easy. Anyway, we're just going to continue to expand the training team, which is kind of silly because I didn't finish her quest, so I probably should have expanded the other team to get their quest started. But whatever, it's fine. It's better to have people grouped up. So we're going to end it there. It's another Heh class, which is good. It's probably better at this point in the game to have two Hes than a Wa and a Heh, because it's more likely we can handle it. It doesn't tell you anything. And but if it is what I think it is, we should be fine. And this will be a nice way to promote some employees, actually. So that's great. I'm not going to do it right now, but I'll probably spend some points upgrading a couple people. Although, now that we've got a workable Heh, we definitely have a nice way to get some repression stats up, some justice. So some of these lobies will be able to catch up a little bit easier. Now, a lot of this still depends on getting past the noons. You know, a bad noon ordeal will still stop us in our tracks. But we will also have access to our first sets of better armor. And this will make us... Well, to be fair, against the robots, this isn't particularly good. The murder bots that do red damage. But it's still better than most of our Teth armor, so it's nice to have it. And, you know, we'll get some more armor from our new abnormalities. So we'll start increasing our strength, and if we can stick to Hes and Was for a little while without getting anything too scary, we should have a good chance here. Before we end up, one thing I should do, though, is read the story, because I forgot. So let's read the story for this guy before we close up. So, Schadenfreude. A mechanical abnormality that can walk on its own. Someone's persistent gaze can be felt from the keyhole inside the machine. Its eyes blink but never close. The purpose of the eye, or what it's observing, is unknown. After several experiments, it has been discovered that where there are one or more employees staring at the abnormality, the condition becomes far worse. Experiment 002. The first one resulted in death, and we don't talk about it. An employee was sent in after covering their eyes with a thick black cloth. I still feel like insight should result in instant death. The cloth must be made from a material that does not allow light to penetrate. Tests must be conducted to ensure that no light could penetrate the cloth. After entering the containment facility, they could just, put a black visor on, it's fine. After entering the containment facility, they faced towards their abnormality for 10 seconds, no reaction. Experiment 3. Similar to Experiment 2, another employee was sent in with their eyes covered, but this time the cloth allows the employee some sight to discern form. After entering the containment unit of the abnormality, they stood toward the direction of the abnormality for 10 seconds. After 5 seconds, the abnormality aggressively approached the employee. Experiment ended. Experiment 4. This time, no cloth, but blind. No reaction for 30 seconds. Please dispose of the experiment subject used in 004 immediately. We don't want blind employees that don't generate any energy. Memo. When training an employee who has never entered the abnormalities containment unit, it goes without saying, but please make sure to tell them not to look at the abnormality directly. If someone is stupid enough to ask why not, please inform them of what happened to the employee Yumi, or Max, I believe it was, who didn't read the manual and stared directly at it. Memo 2. Max, who was in charge of the abnormality, can no longer be in charge of it. She claims to be constantly watched over, but this is a preposterous accusation, and we believe she has severe delusional disorder. Most of what she says is nonsense, but to put it simply, she claims that someone keeps watching her when she's eating or going to the restroom. Also, when she sees something like a keyhole or crack between a door, she will become hysterical and try to seal any hole that she sees. But what's more aggravating is that her mental corruption levels read normal. She can't be put to work in this state, but her normal levels make her difficult to be processed by the system. Please replace her soon. Memo 3. The request has been solved. Yumi, who disappeared, was found in her room. When we opened the door, every hole, including the vent, was covered with black tape. She also stabbed out her eyes with a pen. The delusional disorder seems to have been cured as well. She is no longer babbling nonsense. But I just don't understand why you would send a blind employee into the containment unit. I don't know what kind of experiment 004 is, but I don't think it will do much good. So, the blind employee was Yumi. That's just crazy. That's just crazy. Yep, the more difficult, higher level monsters will definitely have more interesting stories overall, so that's great. Alright, well that's going to be it for this episode. Thanks for watching, future tubers. Hope you have enjoyed, and stick with me as we get to the more interesting stuff, I feel. The intro has been, relatively safe and fun. It's a good learning experience, but now we get to start trying to balance, don't forget, don't look at this, and also other stuff as we learn. So thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and have a great day.